All right, guys, welcome back here to Kings of the Storm, weekly number 9. Let's kill that music. Oh, it's good tunes going on here. But, we're getting ready for Game 2 between Barrel Boys and Quantum Cat. What map are we on, Kubi?
We are on Cursed Hollow,
Ooh.
which means Stitches will be even more banned than first banned. If that's a thing, it's not a thing.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be absolutely shocked if he wasn't banned. So I think this means that Barrel Boys will be getting first pick, first ban this time. Now they can do something. They can do something weird, I guess, if they want to ban out Arthas and then force a Stitches ban, and then that's going to leave like a weird warrior meta left over. And then you also have Tychus into that mix too, so they could ban Tychus, forcing them to ban Stitches, which will give them Arthas if they want. I still am in the impression that having first pick, first ban is an incredibly strong position to be in, especially because there's this X small number of warriors to go with.
Yeah,
you can really force the second ban, you can force their hand quite a bit.
It's true. If you ban out Arthas or Stitches, more frequently going to be Stitches that's that first ban. I mean, we see it so frequently right now. Can't disagree.
Yeah.
So we're telling the players we're ready when they are, and sounds like they're just about ready to start here in the draft. Again, Cursed Hollow, and the first ban is going to be coming down here as Kerrigan. So Kerrigan.
Whoa. Okay. All right. That is absolutely something. A feel ban. They just they saw how that last match went. I won't say that the entire game was won because of Kerrigan, but a lot of the team fights that started off on the wrong foot for Quantum Cat was because they were in the wrong spot versus Kerrigan. 3 or 4 people got pulled into the Primal Grasp into Impale combo, and then that just set up for the rest of the team, and it did get them destroyed. So I can understand that.
Yeah, definitely could tell that they were a bit unused to playing against it. It seemed like they weren't respecting the Kerrigan, and
well, it was either they didn't respect it or they just have not seen or played against the Kerrigan that knows that positioning so well.
Yeah.
So McIntyre definitely made the plays there and set up for the rest of the team so that they could just stop those team fights. And they were pretty one-sided, those team fights.
Yes.
So I can understand that they want to go with that Kerrigan ban. So okay, did they opt for second pick? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it looks like they did.
They opted for second pick. So in that situation, they banned out Kerrigan. That leaves Barrel Boys in a situation. Okay, so they're going to ban out Stitches because they don't want to give them first pick Stitches, or they just don't feel comfortable trying to pick up Stitches, because then you also have Tychus in the mix too. So, all right, but they do end up banning Stitches out. No surprise there. So we got Stitches Kerrigan ban, and then we have a first pick on Tychus, and then a Tasvala counter pick out of Barrel Boys.
So Tychus, no surprise there. He's super strong. I mean, he's got the interrupt with the grenade. He's got incredible damage. That put Odin as a second health bar, first aid. Everything about Tychus is really good, but Tassadar Vala equally as good. So everyone's just opting for those strong, well-rounded. These are going to be good assassins. These are going to be good fit for any kind of style we go for here.
Right. I imagine we'll see a warrior picked up, probably Arthas. Arthas is pretty good on this map. Obviously, there's no Stitches available. If they don't grab Arthas this game, that's really just going to tell me that they don't have anyone on their team that's comfortable playing Arthas. Because there's really no reason not to grab him here. He's still a very, very strong hero. Still has an incredible amount of sustain when you take into Army of the Dead into account and everything. So no reason not to grab him here, I would think.
I agree.
Because you're basically just going to be giving Barrel Boys Arthas if you don't grab it here.
I'm intrigued to see if we actually see Nazeebo again. Nazeebo, we saw picked very early, if I'm not mistaken, in that last game.
Yeah, he was their third pick.
And Nazeebo's kind of fallen off a lot because Ravenous is much easier to deal with stuff like, Tyrande has kind of become more, which we're seeing picked up here, more common. We've seen Thrall that has Sundering. We have Mighty Gus with Falstad. So I think Nazeebo being an early pick, I think Nazeebo kind of should be a later pick, and it doesn't look like that's what they want at all. We're actually seeing both Tyrande and Anubarak.
Okay, we saw Anubarak picked up a total of 0 times last week.
Uh-huh.
This may point to like a tank off tank situation. I really still am not buying the situation that Anub's in to be a solo tank. So this may point to them grabbing a heavier tank. Who knows? It could be ETC, it could be somebody with a larger health pool, somebody that can get in, they can do more body blocking, more tanking, and then Anub's there to back up with the stuns. He really just still can't tank on his own. They nerfed his shield, they nerfed his heroic, so less health leech back, and he doesn't have rewind, so he can't go in, do a bunch of damage, and then get out when the time is right. So he still needs, he's basically a tank that still requires a bit of peel, which is, it's weird. So that's sort of
Right.
it allocates him into that off-tank position. So
he doesn't have that, before he was good because he could just interrupt, and then rewind and just get out.
exactly.
But he no longer has that. But I like the idea that I'm seeing here. I think what they want to do is have a noob go in with the dive, and then you follow that up with the Lunar Flare from Tyrande, because you hit that first time,
Yeah.
and then Lunar Flare goes down, combo the stun. Meanwhile, you have, just currently Tyke is blowing up on them. But I'm not disagreeing in the sense that I think they need more frontline, and I'm curious if Thrall might be part of that mixture. Because Thrall, although he's not really a tank, he can be relatively tanky. You can spec him to, have a decent amount of sustain, especially level 16 plus. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. But as we see, their response is going to be Zeratul and Uther.
It's so strange to see neither team really prioritizing those top hero,
Like
warrior
Arthas.
picks.
Yeah.
Like Arthas.
Well, okay, I like Uther because that Anubarak dives in and you just stun him.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so that's good. And Zeratul,
But why prioritize the Zeratul here over grabbing your warrior? Like it's questionable.
if they do try to go a divey comp with Anubarak and they try to have this front line with Anub diving in and then the front line comes in with, Void Prison could be so insanely strong at just zoning people out. The rest of their team in the back line, you just lock them away.
It's like a free hook.
So, in some way, that might be their thought process here. Void Prison is, of course, very strong, period.
It is, yeah. I would still put Arthas much higher on the quote-unquote tier list in terms of each hero's respective value on a team in terms of drafting. And, I mean, it's fine if you want to grab Zeratul, but make sure you secure that warrior, especially if you have such you can grab one of the top 2 warriors for free. Why not grab him and then pick up Zeratul later? Let me just look this over. Am I missing something about this? Tested art? No, not really.
This is definitely unique, and I like it. But yeah, it's interesting to see what they want to do here because if they pick up Arthas here, and maybe like Arthas Anub sounds like a crazy amount of lockdown on the front line. In dealing with that is a lot of work, but I actually think I'd like to see Tyrael, because Tyrael has a similar kind of dive in. Oh, okay, I actually have no words. Okay, so this is definitely. I don't think Bloodlust is the idea here. I think they want to try to get the Ancestral heal off on the Anubarak.
Yeah,
the Anubarak really dives in. They throw the Ancestral to keep him alive for twice as long, and then they have the Maw to counteract maybe Void Prison. It's weird. This is unique.
It could work. I think the Ancestral is nice, though. And that sort of takes away his problem where he needs, like, peel for himself. Like, he's just going to have, like, that almost second health bar, right? And, he doesn't have quite the ridiculous HP pool that Stitches has. So, like, an Ancestral heal will probably heal him to full.
Oh, yeah. Just about. But, I mean, talk about out of the meta. Anubarak, a tank that we never see right now. And Rhaegar, a support that we almost never see.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes a little bit more sense. I had mentioned the healing ward buff.
Yes,
so
that's
he's
true.
got that at level 1. So his
they have potential for
ability
2.
to sustain is quite a bit. Yeah, you're right. They do have 2. Is that right?
Yeah, Tyrande can grab healing ward
yep.
or protective shield.
Yep.
We've seen that new style of Tyrande recently, where it's less about the empower and the pierce. It's more about getting the healing ward, making your Tyrande more of a middle of the road support / damage dealer. We can see here go support-esque talents like healing ward and still top the damage in the game.
Yeah. Tyrael.
Oh,
This is the second game in a row.
No Arthas.
No Arthas, but Arthas was available.
Yeah. I like it. I'm okay with this. I'm completely okay with this.
I just gotta say, you're right. Zeratul really shuts this down way too hard. I think that they committed a little bit too hard to the whole dive-in strategy and keep that one guy alive with like backup stuns, and then you have Tychus doing damage in the back.
It's gonna be weird.
Yeah,
it's gonna be weird. Now,
and then so they saw the Zeratul, and you have to immediately assume, they're gonna try to Void Prison the rest of the team out so that we can't support Anubarak, blow up Anubarak, and then they have absolutely no tank left, nothing to really peel for anybody. So you've got that VP, but like they just kept going with it. They're like, okay, we're gonna stick to the plan. We're gonna make sure that we have more stuff to support Anubarak, which we probably won't be able to support him with if the Void Prison's good. So that was a little bit questionable.
They've just got so much to deny this.
Yeah, I really just I'm feeling the Barrel Boys comp here a little bit more. I just think it's a bit more of a counter to what Quantum is bringing to the table. But we'll see. We'll see how the match.
They could have something really interesting to show off with Anubarak, and we're gonna find out here because Anubarak. I mean, I can't honestly remember the last time we saw him played since he was nerfed. We might have seen him played in one game. Honestly.
I miss him.
You miss him.
I do miss him.
Kubi wants
I used to play a lot of Anubarak. Yes. Can we get Sonya too? I mean, this could be Kubi's day, or I get to see all my favorite heroes.
It's entirely possible. But Kurosawa is getting a map here for Game 2. This is a best-of-3 series, so Barrel Boys game point for them, and Quantum Cat needs to bring it back at this point in time.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, I mean the whole counter here that Barrel Boys has is even more exemplified by the tight corridors that exist on Cursed Hollow. You know, the pickups make even less sense. So unless they are planning something crazy like what you were suggesting, I'm just not seeing it. But we'll have to wait and find out. That said, let's introduce the teams on the blue side. For Barrel Boys, we have McIntyre on Zeratul. Curse Fairy is going to be playing Tyrael. Blinks is going to be on Uther. Trouble playing Tassadar. And to round it out, we have Fan on Vala.
Now, the other side of the map, well, we have Tyrande being played by Tiddlywink. We have the dude Jordan playing as Saib Arak here. Epita is going to be playing as Rhaegar. Kol'jin is going to be on Tychus. And last but not least, Okiels will be playing as Zagara.
Gosh, these are some weird talents.
Yeah.
we got lots to talk about.
This is very aggressive. They had that one early gank on them last time, so they all ran to the watchtower together to make sure they were safe. Kind of an interesting choice, and notice they're just kind of staying together. They're making sure no one's getting cheeky. They don't want to be caught out of position. They're just poking around and making sure they're safe before the minions are there. No dire reason to be in lane. And, oh, the Headwig Hype delivering the mail very early in the game at the 30-second mark.
Yeah. And Barrel Boys is not going to be feeling too scared of the situation. Like they for a while couldn't see anyone. There wasn't anyone showing for Quantum Cat on the map. But they have Tassadar mid lane. He has the vision on the Oracle there, so it's not as scary. Everyone was just sort of reserved back a little bit until they had that vision. Well, let's talk about some of these talents, especially for Quantum Cat here. Rhaegar and Tyrande, that's fine, but we have centrifugal hooks.
Tiddlywink just gets tiddlywinked away as 4 members rotated to the bottom lane and just blew him up.
How do you feel about the Baneling pickup for Zagara there?
I don't like it. I think it's the 3rd best talent on Zagara personally. The extra range, you can get additional regen on creep. 100% additional regen on creep is one option, and another option is, well, there goes Zagara actually getting picked off there as well. The other option is you can grab, Demolitionist. Now there is of course a 4th option. I don't know what it is because it's probably the worst option, but it's weird to grab Banelings, that's for sure.
And then the other one that's jumping out at me is the Persistent Carapace upgrade for Anubarak here, which increases the duration of the shield that he gets on his W.
This rotation, again, they're so consistent with it. Kol'jin's going to get blown up. They're just being so aggressive. 3 kills already. Hard rotations from Barrel Boys. They've hit level 4 already, and we can see the sustain between these 2 heroes is going to be quite scary.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what got them into the lead last game, which was the really nice rotations. It's carrying them the 2nd game, Barrel Boys, I mean, here. So we can see that they are up an entire level here. Tiddlywink is under pressure, and they just have got to be so careful, especially with this Zeratul and any number of heroes that can rotate with them. Tyrael, anything would be scary. So
I am intrigued by Kajura's Pursuit on Tassadar instead of the mana return on Sidestorm. So that's kind of interesting. Pretty similar or pretty standard stuff here. It looks like on the Tyrael, going for a more sustained heavy build, getting amplified healing. And we can see that we did get Envenom Spines. No Envenom. I think Envenom Spines is probably the right call here. But going for the traditional style here, they grabbed Empower.
Yep, double pierce. And then we're probably going to, what's the level 7? Do they take Battle Momentum? No, it's not Battle. For Tyrande.
Tyrande, well, lately we've been seeing Battle Momentum be picked up.
I forget what the old level 7 talent was. Maybe it was Battle Momentum.
No, it's True Shadowra. True Shadowra
that's right. Yes.
the typical level 7 choice that we see with this build.
Okay, so we do see the first tribute is spawning here at the top lane. The tributes do spawn in a neutral position now since this last patch. And we're going to have to see how each team approaches this. It looks as though there is a full rotation for heroes except for Vala and Tychus, which looks to be making their way up.
Yeah, they have to delay until that happens. Now, they got those new spikes on the skin here for Anubarak that look really cool. Healing Wards going down for both teams. Nubarak is so far forward at this point, though. He doesn't have a lot of sustainability. He just gets blown up immediately. That's the problem with a noob. If you don't have that ancestral healing, you can't really keep him alive very easily. And as he was completely separated from the rest of his team, he just got annihilated so quickly. Kol'jin gets blown up there as well. This big aggression coming to top lane. Epta's going to fall. And then O'Kills and Tiddlywink. Oh, O'Kills got so low. The heal comes out of Tyrande, and he taps the well, so he's going to live. And that, of course, tribute was picked up.
Yeah, I did see that Zeratul jumped in a little too far. I was like, oh, wow, really? No, there's no way. There's no way he's going to get out of this. He was taking too much aggro from the towers there, and he ended up falling there. Did get a trade out of it, which I suppose if you want to look at it, it's probably to the benefit of Barrel Boys. I mean, not experience-wise. You're going to get more experience, but the position and momentum-wise, I think it's going to be better for them.
So level 7 has been achieved here.
Yes.
So we can take a look at those talents.
Yep. We do have the, so we didn't get the chance to talk about Zeratul's build. We do have the classic Gathering Power into Rending Cleave. That's just a ton of burst damage. You can hop in and go forward from there. Jake is cocking his head and looking a bit strangely at the battle momentum.
This
on
is like
Tyrande. It's like a half and half build.
I'm gonna have no cooldowns ever. If you have Empower with Pierce, this reduces the cooldowns of all your abilities instantly by 2 seconds for every target you hit with your Sentinel. Yep. That being the owl that flies across the map, and then battle momentum on top of that. You're going to be able to spam a lot of abilities as Tyrande, and it's going to be really interesting with Heroic. So if they go for Starfall is going to have a very short cooldown in return. So I'm intrigued by that.
If you go Shadowstalk, you'll never have enough cooldown.
It'll actually just be up constantly.
Oh, they're grouped up quite a bit. I'm not sure I like their approach.
It's very scary. O'Kill's getting very low. The dude, Jordan, is just going to get annihilated. Trying to throw down that Lunar Flare to stun forehead. Epta has been completely zoned out, body blocked, and just annihilated as well. 2-level advantage just about to be had here, and Heroics will be picked up with that third and now 4th kill.
They got picked apart there. Oh, they're really doing this? They're really... Oh, my gosh.
Void Prison just for, like, the safety calls here.
I think Barrel Boys is aware that they are probably well outmatching their opponents in this scenario.
They're showing off at this point.
Yeah.
And we're going to see them pick up the Knights offensively. They're going to pick up the Golem because without Heroics, they can't be contested. Even though they only have Archon and Divine Storm off cooldown, that's still plenty to zone them out. And that's going to be a free boss here at the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, it had a lot to do with how they funneled themselves into that fight. And we mentioned right as the match started, we're saying, okay, yeah, Cursed Hollow, there's a lot of narrow passageways here. You have to be careful about how you bunch yourselves up, especially against this kind of team. And Nubarak is trying to get in these team fights to start laying down some peel for the rest of his team and just stuns in general, but he is getting blown up so fast.
Yeah, we see him use the burrow charge there to try to get a couple stuns. His team wasn't even in position to capitalize and help him get out of that. Yeah, and he's actually lucky to be alive. When you go in with a Nubarak, it's a very dicey situation. You don't actually have a ton of sustain. And we see that one Divine Storm going down, he just has to leave. Like, he doesn't have any kind of like real self-healing until he has Locust Swarm, and with that dive in with the Judgment, the Lunar Flare to zone, do they get out of this? That Lunar Flare might have been enough to save them, but doesn't matter in the long run. Looks like O'Kill's accidentally clicked the minimap as he backs up. He's going to lose his life. Kol'jin, very low. They're all very low at this point.
Yeah, but they're going to be able to... I don't think they'll get... Well, they have Curse.
They have Curse and the Golem and Giants. Like, there's so much aggression
Yeah, they
going
probably
on
will be able to take this, especially when you consider that they have that 3, almost 4-level lead at this point going into this. They may be able, if they can keep them from getting level 10, which is very likely.
Zeratul just comes from the backside and blows up Tyrande, 4-level lead. He doesn't need any help with it at all.
Yeah.
The stun Divine Storm combo coming out of Uther. The Void Prison on 3 members are just going to wrap around and eliminate the rest of the team, and they're going to try to end the game here. The cast aside from Tyrael to secure that kill. Epita's going to be able to get out of here. He does have Wolf Form. He can just pop in his Wolf Form and go in. But with the Golem wailing away at that tower, the Giants are still in the backline taking care of that well.
Oh, they didn't soak. Okay. So the problem is when you have, you know, I mean, we can talk about all day about how they're about to lose this game, but this will be a bit more of an interesting fact. If you don't soak for the towers going in and try to pull the aggro, but they're not firing, so I'm actually not sure why that happened in the first place. Usually, if the Golem's going in, he's going to go straight for the core unless he gets hit by the tower, and then he will go hit it. So you really need to soak for it in that situation. But they weren't firing, so that's actually a little strange. That normally doesn't happen. That's probably what didn't allow them to finish the game, unfortunately, for Barrel Boys there. We do see that Starfall picked up. That was the heroic of choice there. We do have Locust Swarm for Nubarak, Commandeer Odin, and such a thing as we predicted there. You're right. So it doesn't really make too much sense to go Bloodlust.
If they weren't 5 levels behind, they might have had a chance at this point in the game when they hit level 10. Because when you get the Locust Swarm and Ancestral, Nubarak gets so much more tanky. The Locusts, of course, heal him when he's around multiple targets. It's actually beneficial to be around a lot of things, and then the Ancestral healing can really top him off. But this 5-level difference, 4-level difference, excuse me, he's actually just going to melt.
Yeah, I'm always trying to theorize ways for the team to come back, but I just think, unfortunately, their team comp is so divey at this point. I mean, let's see how he approaches it here. I mean, he's in the right spot to do this, but they just have to leave. I mean, they're at least well aware of the fact that they cannot take a straight-up team fight here. They have to get a pick.
They need to get, like, over-aggressive, and then Bear Boys needs to get too aggressive, and then Amon needs to come down perfectly, and then some miraculous. If they manage to win a team fight, they're back in the game because of the underdog bonus.
Yeah, the underdog bonus would catch them to probably about 1 level below if they were to take a team fight right now. I just don't see how it's possible. I mean, even if they land this really nice wall, what's the setup after this?
Right.
You know, they did maybe 20% damage to the health bars, and then we see exactly that going in. He dives in, gets blown up immediately. Now they're down to a 3v5.
And the Void Prison being used, 2 members inside of it. They're going straight for Zagar, turning around here to blow up the 2 members that are completely zoned out at this point in time. A nice Lunar Flare by Tinaling. What's he going to do? Run away while the game pretty much ends here. That's really his only option. He's just mounting up and leaving.
Showing him, I ain't afraid of your watchtowers. So that was a good attempt by Quantum Cat there. What would you say the biggest thing that they could work on to improve here?
I mean, they did some bold strategies. They tried some unique stuff, but it didn't really pan out. I mean, when you see the Void Prison and you already have the Anubarak, the Void Prison is such a strong counter to any kind of dive composition because even once a noob dives in, you can just completely separate him from the rest of the team. And they kind of just had to be a little bit more passive, losing all those kills super early in the game.
Yeah.
Put them so far behind already, and it just kind of was a snowball effect. So maybe play a little bit more passively. If you know your enemy team likes to gank early, just kind of sit by your tower. Like, really just soak your lanes the best you can. Make sure you soak. If they're trying to rotate and gank, they're going to be losing experience. So that's like, they just lost so early in the early game, and fell behind and then lost the heroic advantage and then just got blown up from that. It's tough, but
I think a little bit could be said about the drafting too, especially if you're going to go for this type of strategy where you grab a Nubarak and are doing this type of crazy like dive in, heal him. Pick Rhaegar and a Nubarak last. Hide that strategy because it was just so easily countered by Zeratul. I mean, not to say that was the reason that they lost. There were some times where Nubarak dived in and they didn't even need Zeratul. They just were able to blow him up so fast, even faster than they were able to give the Ancestral heal onto him.
Right.
So, but in that situation, a Nubarak isn't going to get grabbed. Rhaegar is very unlikely to get grabbed by the other team. So you may as well just save it to the end. And you can pick up some other really high-tier picks in terms of either damage output or whatever else that you want to get to support that strategy while still hiding it.
That's a good point.
That's the type of thing you should be looking for when you're drafting a weird strategy like that. But
okay.
All right, so that will have Barrel Boys advancing to play against Cloud9 Vortex in round 2 of this tournament. I'm not exactly sure which match we'll be casting. We'll have to go see which teams are available and have not already started their round 2 matches, but we'll let you guys know in a second. I think we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be back in just a few.